Red Zone weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Megginson. A severe weather update starts right now.
Tornadoes, damaging straight-line winds, and large hail all going to become possible across South Alabama and Northwest Florida in the overnight hours. We have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced severe weather risk for much of the local area. Don't be misled by the nicer conditions slated to happen on this Tuesday. We are not expecting severe thunderstorms or tornadoes during the daytime hours today, but tonight in the overnight hours that changes as a line of strong to severe thunderstorms moves in from the west. By lunchtime today, temperature is going to be around 56 in most spots, increasing amounts of cloud cover likely throughout the day. High is going to be around 63, and sunset on this Tuesday happens at 5:16 p.m. We do have a high wind watch. This is an uncommon product. We don't see this issued very often, and the reason this is in place for all local counties is because of the potential for 25 to 35 mile per hour sustained winds today, out ahead of the round of thunderstorms that will move through tonight. So again, a high wind watch is in effect for all local counties this morning across South Alabama and Northwest Florida. If you have small yard items that may blow around, you want to go ahead and get those up and inside this morning ahead of the high winds that will be possible this afternoon into this evening, ahead of the round of thunderstorms in the overnight hours. Significant tornadoes, meaning EF2 plus tornadoes, not out of the question tonight in the overnight hours, mainly from midnight to 6 a.m. with this severe weather event. Also quite concerned about the potential for damaging straight line winds. Could have trees and power lines coming down, and that's why our power outage metric there is a bit higher than in most severe weather events. We may have trees coming down this afternoon into this evening due to all those pressure gradient winds in place ahead of the batch of thunderstorms slated to move through tonight. So again, it's a level 3 out of 5 severe weather risk, and by the time you're seeing this video, this graphic may have changed a bit, but we're looking at a level 3 out of 5 enhanced severe weather risk, and this includes many local counties. In fact, every local county except Butler County is involved in some way or another in this level 3 out of 5 risk. I think the greatest probability of severe weather locally happening going to occur in parts of Mobile, Baldwin, Escambia, Alabama, and Escambia, Florida. This is kind of the southwestern part of our local area, and that's going to be the core zone where we could see tornadoes and damaging straight-line winds. Regardless, though, we all have a severe weather risk. Every single one of us across the region, Butler, Covington, Okaloosa, all of us have a severe weather risk in place in the overnight hours. Here's a look at timing, midnight to 6 a.m. in the overnight hours, extending into early Wednesday morning. Going to be the core time frame for many of us, with storms kicking off to the east after 6 a.m. for parts of Okaloosa, Walton, and Covington counties. Let's break down the probabilities. It's an uncommon situation with the tornado risk here. 10% tornado probabilities. That means that the overall tornado risk is 10 times higher than a given blue sky weather day. That is quite significant, and the Storm Prediction Center maintains this significant tornado probability zone for much of our local area. Also particularly concerned about damaging straight line winds across the region. Could even have some hail involved in the stronger storms as well. So again, a level 3 out of 5 severe weather risk. Let's look at the projected radar, because we are not expecting major issues locally today in the daytime hours. The issues slated to happen tonight. Today, we'll be watching the whole system developing across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. Big snow ahead for parts of North Texas and Oklahoma, extending into Arkansas later today on the back edge of this area of low pressure. Wraparound moisture going to cause a good bit of snow to our north. But down here where we are in the warm sector, that's where we could have these severe weather issues, extending along the northern Gulf Coast from Mississippi into Louisiana, Alabama, Northwest Florida as well. That look is valid at midnight. And so all of the air across central and north Alabama is going to be fairly tame and fairly stable, but you see these discrete storms out ahead of the main batch of thunderstorms. That's why we're particularly concerned about the tornado risk with this system. So EF2 plus tornadoes possible, and that whole round of thunderstorms by 6 a.m. in the morning going to be exiting our area to the east, and I expect clearing skies in the afternoon and evening hours of your Wednesday. And so tornadoes, damaging straight line winds, large hail, all concerns. If there's one bit of good news with all this, it's that we do have a potential limiting factor, and that is the instability, the surface-based convective available potential energy. It's going to be a quick-hitting deal with this surface-based instability, which acts as high-octane fuel for these thunderstorms. And there is a chance that the better CAPE values remain offshore for the duration of this event. That would be best-case scenario. All right, so we're looking at a situation where we have plenty of shear, plenty of dynamics with this weather system, but the thermodynamics, or in other words, the surface-based instability here, going to be potentially lacking. Although this is off the high-res rapid refresh model, which is a convective allowing model, and it is indicating that we could have upwards of 1,000 joules per kilogram of surface-based CAPE across parts of coastal Alabama and northwest Florida. That would be enough for severe weather. You see that tongue of CAPE there, valid at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Storms would be right in through here, tapping into this fuel straight ahead of the storms. And so there is a chance that some of that remains muted down into the Gulf of Mexico. That would be good. We'll have to see how that plays out tonight. Hopefully that will happen and mitigate some of the risks that we're seeing here, because the shear and particularly the low-level jet, the 850 millibar winds, are screaming. I'm talking screaming with this event. We have not seen shear values this high in several years, really. And so you see these values. Those are not surface winds. Those are projected winds at 5,000 feet above the surface of the Earth. Again, we're just talking screaming low-level jet here, and the dynamics are there. We know that, but the question is, can we get enough fuel, enough CAPE for these storms to tap in not only to the shear, but also into the high-octane fuel, which is the convective available potential energy. We will see if that happens in the overnight hours. I do think we're probably going to get about an inch of rain in most spots, particularly across West Alabama. Going to be a quick-hitting system in the overnight hours. Not really as concerned with the overall flash flooding risk with this system. And highs today going to be near 60 in most spots inland, closer to 65 near the immediate coast. Could even have some spots near the beaches that briefly touch 70 this afternoon. Here's your next 7 days. Concerned about tornadoes and damaging straight-line winds in the overnight hours. Storms going to quickly kick out early tomorrow morning, and then we go rapidly cooler by the time we get to Thursday and Friday. Highs going to be in the 50s, morning lows below freezing by the time we get to Friday morning. And Saturday looks quite nice. Highs going to be fairly seasonal, around 61. More rain possible on Sunday into Monday. And overall, this does look like a pattern when we could see a few tornadoes in the overnight hours. So again, just have a way to hear urgent tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the night. Of course, if we have warnings, we'll come on Facebook Live to bring you the very latest. YouTube Live as well. Plenty of coverage in the RedZone Weather app as well. I do hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Let me know if you have any weather-related questions in the comments below.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free RedZone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our RedZone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.